Welcome to all of our 9th to 10th students. We are going to see about that nuclear physics. It is one of the major branch of physics. In our nuclear physics, we are going to deal about that nucleus of all elements. In general, elements contain elementary particles. That elementary particles are electrons, protons, neutrons. Elementary particles of any atom is electron, proton, neutron. That electron is in orbiting around the nucleus, but proton and neutrons are inside the nucleus. So that's why protons and neutrons called as a nuclear particles. That nuclear particles accumulated in a very small space of our nucleus. In general, atom size is in the order of 10 to the power minus 10 meter range, but nuclear size is in the order of 10 to the power minus 14 meter. So if you compare atom size and the nuclear size, atom size is too large as compared to that nuclear size. Anyhow, here we are going to deal about that nucleus. There, what are the nuclear particles we have means protons and neutrons. The two combine to form a nucleus accumulated in a very small portion in our small atoms. So that nuclear particles is stable in most elements. Some of that in some of the elements, nucleus is going to disintegrate spontaneously. That elements are called as a radioactive elements. Radioactive elements mostly which has a atomic number greater than 82 or 83. Anyhow, that elements makes radiation or emits radiations spontaneously. That radiations may be alpha particle, beta particle and gamma. Gamma is nothing but only radiation, but alpha and betas are particles natures. But gamma is having a energy only, but that three radiations are emitted from radioactive elements. But each and every radiations, that is alpha, beta and gamma, not emitted at same instant. They are emitted one at one process, we can say. If alpha is emitted, beta and gamma are not emitted. So like that, natural radioactive radiations are emitted from radioactive elements which are having an atomic number greater than 82. That alpha, beta and gamma particles having some properties that are having a particle nature. That is, alpha particle means nothing but a helium nucleus. Anyhow, beta, there we have a two type of betas, beta minus and beta plus. Beta minus is nothing but a electrons. Beta plus is nothing but a positron. The two are antiparticles, we can say. Then we have a gamma, that radioactive elements, when it moves from higher energy level to lower energy level, the energy is released in the form of gamma rays. Up to that, we have already completed. At the time of emitting radiations, elements which are unstable emit the either alpha or beta or gamma becomes a stable element. That stable elements are called as a daughter nucleus, but which is going to radiating the radiations that are called as a parent nucleus. Parent nucleus, that is classified in our law, one of that law, that is called as a radioactive displacement law. This radioactive displacement law is framed by Soddy and Fajan So that's why radioactive displacement law is also called as a Soddy-Fuzens law. Okay, now we are going to see about that radioactive displacement law in our classes. Okay, we are going to see that radioactive displacement law. So we have a radioactive element, example radium. Radium symbol is R small a, mass number 22688 is one of that radioactive element. This 226 is a mass number, 88 is a atomic number. We know that radioactivity, natural radioactivity is happened elements which are having atomic number greater than 82 or 83. Anyhow, here one of the radioactive element is a radium, which has a atomic number 88, mass number is 226. This is a unstable element. Unstable element means element spontaneously changes from as radium as to another element. That's why it is an unstable element. In general, elements, chemical elements are symbolized as X, A, Z. X is one of that element name. A is the mass number. Z is the atomic number. That is an unstable element. This is a radium. This radium itself spontaneously changes as the another element. Example, it can be changed into radon, symbol as a R small n. There we have a mass number 22286. Now we can take an radium changes into radon, but that radon may taken as a stable element. Okay, stable element. So this unstable element spontaneously changed into a stable element. This process is called as a radioactive process, we can say. So in our radioactive process, one element displaced into another element. That's why displacing of one element to another element in the process of radioactivity, that's law is called as a radioactive displacement law. This is framed by Soddy and Fuzens. This radioactive displacement law is framed by Soddy and Fuzens. So that's why this displacement law may also called as a Soddy-Fuzens law. So displacement law, another name is called as a Soddy-Fuzens law. Here the radioactive element, that is unstable element, changes from one into another, that is from the unstable element into a stable element. At the time their mass number and atomic numbers are decreases. We can see that initially this unstable element mass number is 226, but stable element mass number is 222. So how much it is decreases means 4. The same time atomic number, the unstable radium atomic number is 88, that is converted into radon, their atomic number is 86. So their atomic number is decreases by 2. The 2 combine to form a alpha particle. Alpha particle is nothing but a helium nucleus. Is one of the example for displacing that unstable radioactive element into a stable element. That is framed by Soddy and Fagin. That's why that radioactive displacement law is called as a Soddy-Fagin cell law. So there alpha particle is a emitter, as like that beta also emitter. Some of that elements changes, that is unstable element into a stable element. At the time beta also emitted. Sometimes some radioactive element moves from a higher energy level to that lower energy level only. Their mass numbers and atomic numbers are remain same. At the time energy only released, higher energetic radiations only released, that is gamma. So that's why these three decays are going to see in our Soddy-Fagin's law, otherwise called as a radioactive displacement law. First one is alpha decay. This also written as alpha decay. Second one is beta decay. We have a symbol beta decay. There beta, we have two type of betas, beta minus and beta plus. Beta minus is nothing but a electron. We can symbolize that E suffix minus 1 0. Then beta plus is a antiparticle of electron, that is nothing but a positron. Positron. This is a beta decay process. Another one is the third one, gamma decay. We have a symbol also, gamma decay. Okay, in our radioactive displacement law, three type of particles are disintegrating or decaying. One is the alpha decay, second one is the beta decay, third one is the gamma decay. If one of that alpha decay is going to see in our next session, that alpha decay. Now we are going to see about that alpha decay. We have a general equation for that alpha decay, that is X element which has a atomic number and the mass number. Atomic number is represented as a Z, mass number is represented as a A. If it emits alpha particle, that X element is a unstable element. X element is unstable element that is going to emit a alpha particle. If it is emitted, that becomes a stable element Y, but its mass number decreases by 4, atomic number decreases by 2. At the time alpha particle is emitted. Alpha particle is nothing but a helium nucleus. Is the standard formula, is a unstable, becomes a stable. It is called as a parent nucleus. This a stable nucleus is called as a daughter nucleus. Daughter nucleus is a alpha particle. So it is one of that radioactive process. In that radioactive process, unstable nucleus is going to convert it into a stable nucleus, but that unstable nucleus called as a parent nucleus becomes a daughter and it is a stable. At the time it emits a alpha particle. There we have one example, that is uranium 238 and 92 is emitting alpha particle and becomes thorium 234 90 plus alpha particle. Alpha is nothing but a helium nucleus. Uranium 238 92 is a unstable parent nucleus. It is spontaneously emitting alpha particle. After that emission, this becomes a thorium 234, one of the isotope of thorium, that becomes a stable, is a alpha particle process. Another, we have one example also. What example we have means radium 226 88 spontaneously emit alpha particle, becomes a radon 222 86 plus helium nucleus. That is, we are representing that helium element symbol, but it is a helium nucleus, is nothing but a alpha particle. Okay, this is the alpha decay in our radioactive process. Next one is a beta decay we have. We have a symbol for that beta decay, beta. So we know that beta is two type of betas, beta plus, beta minus. Beta minus, plus is nothing but a positron, beta minus is nothing but a electron. So we have a difference for that symbol. Electron is taken as E in suffix -1 prefix 0. That's antiparticle. Positron, that is a beta plus, E suffix +1 in a prefix 0. These are the two type of beta decay. In generally, beta is nothing but electron we are going to take on. Means mostly emitting that electrons in a beta decay. That's why in general beta decay is nothing but emission of electrons from radioactive element, makes emission of electron, then that element becomes another element as a stable. Okay, we have a standard formula for this. See that formula for that beta decay. In that beta decay, X element which has a certain mass number and atomic number that are unstable element is going to spontaneously emit a beta particle. That becomes another element, Y. Mass number remains same, but atomic number increases by 1, plus emission of electron is happened. Is a standard formula for a beta decay, that in understood, that is nothing but a beta minus. So in our general formula, X element unstable, it is going to convert it into stable element. Their mass numbers remain same, atomic number increases by 1, Z becomes a Z plus 1, and emission of that beta particle. Emission of that beta particle is nothing but a beta minus. Next we have beta plus decay. At the time X element is unstable, the symbol is for that as unstable, has a mass number A, atomic number Z, is emits beta plus particle. Beta plus particle is nothing but a antiparticle of electron, that is nothing but positron. At the time that X converted into Y, that same mass numbers remain same, but atomic number decreases by 1 plus emission of positron, that is called as a beta plus. So for a beta decay we have a two type of beta decay, beta minus decay and beta plus decay. Beta minus is nothing but a electron, beta plus is nothing but a positron. The two are antiparticles. Anyhow, if electron is emitted, X changes into Y, mass numbers remain same, atomic number increases by 1. But in a beta plus decay, X element going to convert it into Y element. Here also the mass number is remain same, but atomic number is decreases by 1. Emission of a positron is happened, is a beta decays. We have example for both beta minus decay and beta plus decay. Example for beta minus decay is a better example is carbon 14 is one of the radioactive element. Carbon 614 is a spontaneously emitted electron that becomes a nitrogen. Nitrogen has atomic number 7, then mass number 14 plus electron is emitted. This is one of the example for beta minus emission, that is electron emission. In generally beta decay is taken this equation because mostly this only, that is beta minus only emitted in a beta decay. That's why in a general expression means the first equation formula is taken. For that we have a example, carbon 614 changed into nitrogen 714 and emit a beta particles. At the time atomic number increases by 1. Atomic number increases by 1. Then we have a example for beta plus decay. One of that another carbon isotope we can taken, carbon 610 we can taken. This carbon 610 is one of the radioactive element that spontaneously emit a positron and becomes a boron B510 plus emission of positron is happened. Is a example for that positron emission or beta plus emission. Another one example we have for that beta minus in our book, phosphorus 32 spontaneously emit a electron and becomes a sulfur. That is another example for that beta minus. Phosphorus 1532 spontaneously emitting that electron that becomes sulfur S 3216 plus emission of electron is happened. In our book they have given this equation for that example for beta decay. So anyhow in generally at the time of beta decay mass numbers remain same. Which one only changes means atomic number only changes. Beta minus emitter atomic number is increases by 1. Beta plus is emitter atomic number decreases by 1. Okay, that's all about that beta decay. Another one is the gamma decay. In that gamma decay, when we have a gamma decay means either alpha particle or beta particle is emitted, daughter nucleus not reaches to that ground state normal energy level, it may be in a higher energy level. If any element in a higher energy level, that element is unstable. That element within a very fraction of time, in the order of 10 to the power minus 8 seconds, moves from its higher energy level to that lower energy level, at the time their difference of energy is released as a gamma rays. Next we are going to see that expression for gamma rays. Next we are going to see about that gamma decay. We have symbol for that gamma. Okay. If any radioactive elements emit either alpha or beta, that unstable nucleus becomes another stable nucleus, but that stable nucleus is not in that normal energy level, that is nothing but a ground state. It is sometimes in a higher energy level. That higher energy level daughter nucleus is not in that higher energy level itself, moves to that ground state. At the time of moving that daughter nucleus from higher energy level to that ground state, energy is released. That energy comes as a gamma rays. We have a standard formula for gamma emission as well as the example for that total alpha and gamma emission reaction. At a one process, only one particle is emitted. After that only that another particle can be emitted. We have a formula is X A Z is unstable, comes as a same element X A Z. Here we listen, the X is changed into X itself, but this symbol is going to says this X element in higher energy level and it moves to that normal energy level. At the time gamma ray is emitted. Gamma ray is nothing but a higher energy radiation. Higher energy radiation. So here atomic number as well as the mass numbers remain same, only their energy only changes. Example we have for that combined reaction of alpha and gamma. For that we can take on radium. Radium Ra-226-88. This element is a radioactive element, can be radiate that alpha particle, produce a radon. But it is in a higher energy level. At the time of this process, it produces a alpha particle. Alpha particle is nothing but a helium nucleus. This radium becomes a radon. That radium becomes a radon. Radon is not in that ground state, it is in that higher energy level. That higher energy level radon moves to its stable state, that is a normal energy level. At the time of moving from higher energy level to that normal energy level, energy is released. Rn, that is nothing but a radon 222, it is in an unstable state, 86, changed into stable state and emits a gamma particles. That is gamma is nothing but a high energetic radiations. One of that electromagnetic wave is a process also can be picturized is a radon 88 226 is changed into that radium changed into radon, there 86 atomic number, 222 mass number, it is in a higher energy level. that higher energy level, radon moves to that normal energy level, that is a ground state. There difference of energy we have, that difference of energy is released as a gamma ray. This is one of the example for that gamma decay. Once again listen that gamma decay, we have general equation that X element changed into same X, but their energy only changes, mass number and atomic number remain same. Energy only released, that is gamma rays is released, higher energetic radiations. But this gamma is not a single process. After the emission of either alpha particle or beta particle only produce a gamma rays. Alpha or beta emission time only can be produced that gamma rays. That is the gamma radiations produced. These three are framed in our radioactive displacement law. That radioactive displacement law is framed by Soddy and Fuzon. That's why that radioactive displacement laws, another name is Soddy-Fuzon's law. In our Soddy-Fuzon's law, we have three decays: alpha decay, beta decay and gamma decay. At the time of alpha decay, one element changes into another element, mass numbers decreases by 4, atomic number decreases by 2. Okay. Next one is the beta decay. In general, in a beta decay, mass numbers remains same, atomic number decreases by 1 when electron is emitted. If a positron is emitted, mass numbers remain same, atomic number decreases by 1. Atomic number decreases by 1. Anyway, we have a beta decay completion. Another one is a gamma decay. In a gamma decay, just elements, radioactive element makes radiations, emits radiations, moves from a higher energy level to the normal energy level only. That's why mass numbers and atomic numbers are remain same in our gamma decay. Next, we are going to see about nuclear reactions. We have two type of nuclear reactions: nuclear fission and fusion. Very simple that nuclear reactions are two type of nuclear reactions: nuclear fission reaction and fusion reaction. Fission is nothing but heavier elements are break into two or more light nuclei. At the time of breaking that heavier element into two or more light nucleus, some of that radiations are comes out, that is energy is comes out with that neutrons. That is a fusion reaction. Fission reaction is nothing but heavy element converted into two or more light elements. Another type of nuclear reaction is fusion reaction. In fusion reactions, two or more light nucleus combine to form a heavy nucleus. That is happened in only in a very high temperature. That's why nuclear fusion reaction is called as a thermonuclear reaction. But now we are going to see about that nuclear fission reaction only here. Nuclear fission reaction is nothing but some of that heavy elements break into two or more light nuclei. At the time of breaking, energetic radiations is released, with that neutrons also comes out. There we have example. That example we are going to see there. Nuclear fission reaction. Only we have an example. If taken one chalk piece, if you divide into two, at the time that larger chalk piece becomes a smaller chalk pieces. That same larger chalk piece is cut into two. That is fission reaction. At the time, some of that particles are comes out and released some amount of energy. That is a nuclear fission reaction. Best example for that nuclear fission reaction is uranium 235-92. If it absorbs one neutron, so what happened there? Resultant atomic number and mass number means uranium 236-92, and we are putting that star. What purpose means? From a ground state it moves to that higher energy level. By the absorption of neutron, that uranium 235 becomes a uranium 236 and moves to that higher energy level. The higher energy level, uranium 236 is not stable. In nature, it makes a rapid vibrations. At the time of rapid vibrations, spherical shape nucleus going to change into a dumbbell shape. That dumbbell shapes, each part contains the positive charged particles that are split into two. That's why uranium 235 absorbs one neutron and it changed into a uranium 236-92, and it is in a higher energy level, makes a rapid vibrations. That rapid vibrations makes to the particle into split into two or more light particles. Changed into two or more light nucleus, barium and krypton. Ba is symbol for barium, Kr is krypton symbol, and at the time 3 neutrons released with certain amount of energy. Here in our reaction, Q is expressed for that energy. Anyhow, this is going to convert it into two elements, barium and krypton. Their mass numbers and atomic number. Their barium atomic number is 56, mass number is 141. Krypton atomic number is 36, mass number is 92, and 3 neutrons released with certain amount of energy also. In mostly uranium 235, when absorbs a neutron and converted into a barium and krypton, with that 3 neutrons released and also energy. Q value we have. Q value is 200 million electron volt. The energy released in our uranium 235 fission, amount of energy released per fission is 200 million electron volt. Energy is expressed in million electron volt. What is the value of 1 electron volt means? 1 electron volt equal to 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So that's why 1 million electron volt energy expression is in a joule, want to express 10 to the power 6 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. So it will take on 1.6 into 10 to the power plus 6 minus 19, then it becomes a minus 13 joule. So 1 electron volt means 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 joule. 1 million electron volt means 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 13 joule. So that's why 200 million electron volt equal to 200 into 10 to the power 6 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. So this value becomes a 3.2 into 10 to the power minus 11 joule. This is the amount of energy released in uranium 235 fission. Per fission, it produces energy for each and every reaction. It produces a fission reaction 3.2 into 10 to the power minus 11 10 to the power minus 11 joule amount of energy is released. If one uranium-235 is makes fission, it produces this amount of energy. Suppose certain x number of uranium-235 is makes fission, then we can calculate the total amount of energy released in our fission. That is the fission reaction. Fission reaction is nothing but process of breaking of a heavier nucleus into two or more light nuclei. At the time of converting that heavy nucleus into two or more light nuclei, release a larger amount of energy and neutrons also released. There is a best example is uranium-235 fission reaction. Uranium-235 absorbs one neutron and produce barium and krypton, release 3 neutrons and certain amount of energy also. That amount of energy is nothing but 3.2 10 to the power minus 11 joule amount of energy is released for fission of uranium-235. We can take and is a fission process. Not only this, we have many fission process for that uranium-235 is the most repeated, most number of times produced is barium and krypton. That's why we are taken that uranium-235 fission is barium and krypton process we are going to take on. Okay, nuclear fission is completed. Next we are going to see about that fissionable materials which can be makes a fission by the absorption of neutron called as a fissionable materials. Best example we can take on that uranium-235 is nothing but one of that fissionable material. But in our natural uranium, not only that uranium-235, we have uranium-238 also. But that uranium-238 is not a fissionable material, that also called as a fertiles. But we can convert that non-fissionable material into a fissionable by the bombarding of neutron. But anyhow, uranium-235 only that fissionable material in our natural uranium. There we have some other example for that fissionable materials. Plutonium-239, plutonium-241. These are the example for another examples for that fissionable materials. Next we are going to discuss that fissionable materials. There we have another name also, fissile materials. Fissionable material also called as a fissile materials. Fissile materials, that is fissionable materials. Another name, that is alternately we can call fissionable material or fissile materials. Which is called as a fissionable material means fissionable material is nothing but a radioactive materials. At the time of radioactive, it makes a fission reaction in a self-sustained manner. But there, that fissile material want to absorb a neutron. That best example is uranium-235 is one of the fissile material. If uranium-235 nucleus absorbs one neutron, that produces the fission reaction. At the time of fission, barium and kryptons are produced. Not only that two light particles, then we have certain amount of energy released with a neutron. So, example for that fissionable materials are uranium-235 92, then plutonium-239 or plutonium-241. These all fissionable materials. If this absorbs a neutron, that can be makes a fission process. At the time of fission, radiations also comes out. if we taken that natural uranium, natural uranium contains uranium 238 and uranium 235. The total thing, there we have 99.28% is uranium 238, only 0.72% only that uranium 235. This is a fissionable materials. This uranium 238 is a non-fissionable materials. Uranium 238 is a non-fissionable material. Uranium 235 is a fissionable materials. But these non-fissile materials may called as a fertile. We can convert that fertile into fissionable material by the absorption of neutron. It directly makes a fission reaction, but it will not directly make a fission reaction. It want to convert into some other elements, then only it can produce a fission reaction. So example, this fertile is going to take on uranium 238 92. If it absorbs one neutron and produce a uranium 239 92, but it is a unstable nucleus. At the time it produces a 2 beta decay, then it produces, that is a plutonium 94 239. So this is fertile uranium 238 92 absorbs one neutron and it changed into a unstable nucleus of uranium 239 92 is unstable. That's why 2 beta decay it makes and produce a plutonium 239 94. Similarly, another one fertile also we have thorium 90 232. If it absorbs one neutron, it becomes a thorium 90 233. At the same time 2 betas emitted decay, 2 beta decay, it produces a uranium 92 233. So fertile is converted into fissionable. We have two examples that non-fissionable material converted into fissionable. One example is uranium 238 converted into plutonium 239 by the absorption of neutron. Another one example we have thorium 232 converted into a fissionable, that is a non-fissionable material called as a fertile, converted into fissionable, that is a uranium 233 92. This is produced in Tamil Nadu only. That is we have available larger amount of thorium 232 that converted into uranium 233 92. This is going to used for that nuclear reactions in a nuclear reactor. Nuclear reactor can be generate a larger amount of electrical energy. At the time that uranium 233 92 makes a fission, produce a heat energy, that heat is going to convert into electrical energy. Is in a Kalpakam mostly used there. That is a fissionable material, means a material if it absorbs one neutron produces the fission reaction, that are called as a fissionable materials. Best examples for the fissionable materials are uranium 235, plutonium 239, plutonium 241, plutonium 241, and another example also we have uranium 233 also is a fissionable materials or fissile materials. But in naturally all the isotopes are not fissionable. Example, natural uranium 238 we have. In a total natural uranium 99.28% is uranium 238, that is a non-fissile materials called as a fertile, but 0.72% only uranium 235 fissionable materials. But these fertile we can convert into fissionable materials. There we have example for that. So we have completed that. We know that radioactive displacement law. Today we have completed what are the topics means radioactive displacement law, fission process, that is what are the nuclear reactions as well as the fissionable materials. So major thing is radioactive displacement law. This another name is Soddy-Huygens law. We know that very clear. We study about that alpha decay, beta decay and gamma decay. Another thing, we have a nuclear reactions. In that nuclear reaction we have two type of nuclear reactions, nuclear fission reaction and nuclear fusion reaction. In a nuclear fission reaction, what is happened means the heavier element split into two or more light nucleus. At the time, amount of energy as well as that some of that number of neutrons also comes out. That is the fission reactions. Another thing is fissionable materials. Another name of that fissionable materials are fissile materials, which are radioactive by the absorption of neutron. Anyhow, there it makes a fission reactions. That is a fissionable materials. Okay. Let you go through your book very clear and get a better idea, and go through your video. We have general expression as well as the some other examples except in our book. Okay, you take care to go through these topics. Next we will see in the next session.